Hello. Welcome back to my channel with me, Victorious Human. As we are reading on all these prophets, oh my days, can you believe what they went through? Oh my days, they really had it hard, didn't they? So let's get reading and hear what Ezekiel has to say. So we are reading Ezekiel 1. It reads, I was 30 years old. I was with my people. We had been taken away from our country. We were by the Keba River in the land of Babylon. On the 50th day of the 4th month, the heavens were opened. I saw visions of God. It was the 5th day of the month. Jehoiakim had been king of Judah. It was the 5th year since he had been brought to Babylon as a prisoner. A message from the Lord came to me. I was by the Kidron River in Babylon. The power of the Lord came on me there. I am Ezekiel the priest, the son of Buz. I looked up and saw a windstorm coming from the north. I saw a huge cloud. The fire of lightning was flashing out of it. Bright light surrounded it. The center of the fire looked like glowing metal. I saw in the fire something that looked like 4 living creatures. They appeared to have the shape of a human being, but each of them had 4 faces and 4 wings. Imagine seeing something like this. Their legs were straight. Their feet looked like the feet of a calf. They were as bright as polished bronze. The creatures had human hands under their wings on their 4 sides. All 4 of them had faces and wings. The wings of one touched the wings of another. Each of the creatures went straight ahead. They didn't change their direction as they moved. Here is what their faces looked like. Each of the 4 creatures had the face of a human being. On the right side, each had the face of a lion. On the left, each had the face of an ox. Each one also had an eagle face. That's what their faces looked like. They each had 2 wings that spread out and lifted up. Each wing touched the wing of another creature on either side. They each had 2 other wings that covered their bodies. All the creatures went straight ahead. Anywhere their spirit would lead them to go, they would go. They didn't change their direction as they went. The living creatures looked like burning coals of fire or like torches. Fire moved back and forth among the creatures. It was bright. Lightning flashed out of it. The creatures raced back and forth like flashes of lightning. As I looked at the living creatures, I saw wheels on the ground beside them. Each creature had 4 faces. Here's how the wheel looked and worked. They gleamed like topaz. All 4 of them looked alike. Each one seemed to be made like a wheel inside another wheel at right angles. The wheels could go in any one of the 4 directions the creatures faced. The wheels didn't change their direction as the creature moved. Their rims were high and terrifying. All 4 rims were full of eyes all the way around them. When the living creatures moved, the wheels beside them moved. When the creatures rose from the ground, the wheels also rose. Anywhere their spirits would lead them to go, they would go, and the wheels would rise along with them. That's because the spirit of the living creatures were in the wheels. When the living creatures moved, the wheels also moved. When the creatures stood still, they also stood still. When the creatures rose from the ground, the wheels rose along with them. That's because the spirits of the living creatures were in the wheels. Sometimes that looked like a huge space was spread out above the heads of the living creatures. It gleamed like crystals. It was terrifying. The wings of the creatures were spread out under the space. They reached out towards one another. Each creature had two wings covering its body. When the living creatures moved, I heard the sound of their wings. It was like the roar of rushing waters. It sounded like the thundering voice of the mighty God. It was like the loud noise of an army makes. When the creatures stood still, they lowered their wings. Then a voice came from above the huge space over their heads. They stood with their wings lowered. Above the space over their heads was something that looked like a throne made out of lapis lazuli. On the throne, high above, was a figure that appeared to be a man. From his waist up, he looked like glowing metal that was full of fire. From his waist down, he looked like fire. Bright light surrounded him. The glow around him looked like a rainbow in the clouds on a rainy day. That's what the glory of the Lord looked like. When I saw it, I fell to my face towards the ground. Then I heard the voice of someone speaking. Wow, wow, wow. Amen and amen. Now you know what it is all about. Now you know. So I will leave it at that. It's your duty to get reading and find out what the voice said. Yeah, that's all I'll say. That's all I'll say. That's all from me for now. Remain blessed and continue to be victorious.